Hi all, welcome to the Motivational Mindset Monk channel. Today I am going to tell you a story of last message of Buddha. So let's begin. At the time when Buddha was spending his final days, there was a girl whose name is Maya. She wanted to meet Buddha, so she started her journey to Buddha Monastery. Maya's sandals kicked up small clouds of dust as she approached the towering gates of the Buddhist monastery. The bustling town she had passed through had left her feeling overwhelmed, but now a sense of anticipation and hope filled her heart. This was where she might find the answers she sought, the final teachings of the Buddha. As she stepped through the ornate entrance, the tranquil atmosphere of the monastery enveloped her. The rhythmic chanting of the monks echoed through the courtyards, and the air was infused with the scent of incense. Maya paused, taking a deep breath, and allowed the serenity of the place to wash over her. Maya's heart raced as she approached the place where the Buddha was spending his final days. The air was thick with a palpable sense of reverence and impending loss. Pilgrims from all corners of the land had gathered to pay their respects and witness the Buddha's last moments. As Maya entered the serene grove, she was struck by the Buddha's tranquil presence. Despite his advanced age and failing health, he radiated a profound inner peace that seemed to transcend the physical realm. Maya found herself drawn to a spot near the Buddha, where she sat cross-legged, her eyes fixed on the revered teacher. The Buddha's eyes slowly opened, and he gazed upon the gathering with a gentle smile. "My dear friend," he began, his voice soft yet resonant, "the time has come for me to depart this world. But do not be saddened, for the Dharma, the teachings I have shared with you, will continue to guide you long after I am gone." Maya listened intently, her heart swelling with a mixture of reverence and sorrow. The Buddha's words were like a soothing balm, calming the turbulence within her. "The nature of all conditioned things is to arise and pass away," the Buddha continued. "This is the truth of impermanence, the first of the four noble truths. All that is born must also die. All that is gathered must also be dispersed. This is the way of the world, and it is the way of our own lives." Maya felt a deep resonance with these words, for she had experienced the fleeting nature of her own attachments and desires. The Buddha's teachings were beginning to take root within her, challenging her to let go of the illusion of permanence. "The cause of suffering," the Buddha said, "is our craving and attachment to these impermanent things. We cling to pleasure, to possessions, to the idea of a permanent self. But this only leads to more suffering, for all that we cling to will eventually slip through our fingers." Maya nodded, recalling the vivid dream she had experienced about the nature of impermanence. She could now see how her own grasping and aversion had been the source of much of her inner turmoil. "The cessation of suffering," the Buddha continued, "lies in the complete letting go of this craving and attachment. When we are able to see the true nature of all things and accept the inevitability of change, we can find peace and liberation." Maya felt a profound shift within her, as if a veil had been lifted from her eyes. The Buddha's words were not just abstract teachings, but a direct reflection of her own experience. "And the path to this cessation of suffering," the Buddha said, "is the eightfold path. Right view, right resolve, right speech, right conduct, right livelihood, right effort, right mindfulness, and right concentration. This is the way to cultivate the wisdom and compassion that will free you from the cycle of birth and death." As the Buddha spoke, Maya felt a deep sense of gratitude and reverence. She had come to this place seeking answers, and the Buddha was now imparting the very teachings she had been searching for. The Buddha's eyes then turned to Maya, and she felt as if he could see directly into her soul. "My child," he said, "you have come here with an open heart and a thirst for understanding. Continue on this path of mindfulness and compassion, and you will find the peace that you seek." Maya bowed her head, tears of joy and humility streaming down her face. In that moment, she knew that the Buddha's final teachings would forever change the course of her life. As the sun began to set, the Buddha closed his eyes and entered a state of deep meditation. Maya and the other gathered disciples sat in silent reverence, their hearts filled with the weight of this profound moment. When the Buddha's breathing finally stilled, a hush fell over the grove. Maya felt a deep sense of loss, but also a profound gratitude for the wisdom and compassion that the Buddha had shared with the world. Please subscribe and like our channel if you find this useful.